She's been sat there a while. I didn't want to make sure there's no spiders on her. No, I think she could do with the hairbrush. Come on, come to mama. There, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Shh. I know. It's okay. I can't tell whether I'm talking to a child or my cat. That's what I do to my cat. I'm like, come on, baby. It's okay. Come to mama. It's okay. Anyway, guys, I wanted Annabelle to join me for this video because it kind of has something to do with her. Oh, she's a little stiff. I was trying to turn her head and it's just like, it's solid. Oh, I guess the rigor mortis is set in. Anyway, guys, welcome back to another video. I was going to do this yesterday, but I wasn't really in the best of moods, and I decided to just skip out. I had a lot on my mind last night, and I'm not going to force myself to make videos. I'm just going to do them when I feel like it. And I had a dream last night, though, which was... it was actually really nice, and it kind of made me feel more, I guess I've been feeling a little disconnected from things that I typically enjoy lately, and I don't really know why, or I know, that's a lie, I know exactly why, but I have been feeling very disconnected. I've been finding it hard, I think I even mentioned it to you guys, to even enjoy the things that I would typically enjoy, such as horror movies. And one of my favorite horror movies is Annabelle Creation, and I've even been having a hard time not necessarily enjoying it, but actually staying focused whenever I watch it. There's been a couple times I've attempted to watch it, and I just can't focus. I'm just on my phone, I'm overthinking, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's been pretty hard. Like, I used to use that movie and a few other horror movies as like escapes from that, but it just hasn't been working lately. And I've just been kind of trapped in my own head. But I had a really nice dream last night. I dreamt that I was, and this is kind of crazy too, I feel like it must have been on my mind. Like, I was aware, the girl who played Janice in Annabelle Creation, I've told you guys about her a bunch of times. She was the girl with polio and the leg brace, and the one that was like, the only one that didn't get out at the end of the movie. Very, very sad, I know. It makes me cry every time I watch it, and I feel like that's why I enjoy that one more than any of the others in the Conjuring universe, is because it, to me, is the only one that didn't have a happy ending. And Janice was the most lovable person of all of them, I feel like. She just seemed so innocent and sweet, and she just genuinely didn't deserve that kind of life, let alone fate. So it is a character that I would say feels very special to me. And I am a big fan of Talitha Bateman, mainly because of that movie. And it was her birthday yesterday, so I was like, I guess I knew that anyway, because her birthday is only like 5 days after mine. And we're both Virgos. But it was her birthday yesterday, and I guess it must have been somewhere inside of my mind. Like, I did wish her a happy birthday on Twitter, so I was, like, aware. But I wasn't really thinking about it too much. I was actually thinking about something else. And then I went to bed last night with something else on my mind, which is kind of crazy. Like, I was thinking about something else and kind of worrying about something else. And I went to bed, and I had, like, the most craziest vivid dream I've ever had. And it was like, I've often said I would love to meet, if I could meet anybody, I would love to meet Talitha Bateman, because I feel like I would just, like, we would relate on a lot of levels, just from what I found out about her. She's very similar to me, and her passions are similar to mine, or like what mine used to be, and I feel like she could genuinely help me. And I've often said that I would love to, like, meet her. Like, there's so much that I would love to say to her. And I dreamt about her last night. I dreamt that she was like, it's kind of weird actually, because it doesn't really make any sense, but I dreamt that we were in my house in the living room, and there was like a lot of my family was around, and I remember trying to talk to her, but like a lot of the kids in my family were like coming in and out, and like they were just being disruptive, and I was telling everyone to go away. It was just really kind of nice, because I did get a chance to actually talk to her, and it was like she was in my house, but she was a stranger, I guess, or like she thought of us as strangers. It was kind of weird. Like, my house was a cafe or something like that. It was weird. And it did kind of have that, like, the way the room was set is not how it was in real life. It did look like a cafe. There was like a fridge there and stuff like that, or like a coffee machine or something. And the way she was sat was like facing the window. I'm going to try and paint a picture for you guys, but you're probably not even going to visualize it the same way I did, or I can. I started talking to her, told her I was a big fan. Like, I instantly, it wasn't Janice, it was Talitha Bateman. And she was exactly how I imagined she would be in real life. super genuine, super humble. And I sat and talked to her, and I was saying like, oh, I have an Annabelle doll, and I brought this and showed her, and she kind of smiled like, oh gosh, an Annabelle. I asked her if I could take a picture with her, and she said, yeah, but just don't post it on social media. I'm not like really into that. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, no problem. And she asked if she could take a picture with my Annabelle doll. So I was like, of course. And then I had the Annabelle doll in a plastic grocery bag, and it was just on the floor. This was like later on. The dream kind of cuts in a few parts. But I remember that we were sitting there, and it was literally like a cafe at this point, but it was my house. And I know that because one of my friends from school, like my childhood friends who I haven't spoken to in like a billion years, he had left my house key at the other end of the street. So I had to run down there, and I spoke to the neighbor, and I said, have you seen my keys? And the keys were on the floor, like on the road. Pick up the keys, I run back to my house. It's almost like everything was trying to keep me away from Talitha Bateman, and all I wanted to do was sit and talk to her. And it was like there was just like disruption after disruption. But I was sat talking to her. My house looked like a cafe. Like I said, it wasn't my house. It was like kind of a cafe. There was like fridges and a coffee machine and like the little table, and we were sitting at it, and I had this doll in a bag there just on the ground, which in real life it wouldn't fit in one of those bags, but yeah, it was in a grocery bag. And the girl who played Linda, Lulu Wilson, came along, and she sat with us and she talked, and I don't really remember much about that part, but she did say something about the Annabelle doll. She was mostly talking to Talitha, not really me. And then there was another part of the dream where I had a box of like 6 donuts, like you would get in like Dunkin' Donuts or something, like 6 donuts in this box, with all like different fancy designs on the top. You know how some of them have like little fancy decorations on them, and I had a box of 6, and I offered Talitha Bateman one, and I opened it up, and there was 5, and then 1 half-eaten one, which is literally me. I said to her, do you want a donut? And she kind of laughed and was like, oh, looks like you've already been eating them, you big fat boy. She didn't say that. I was just doing a Pennywise impression. Nobody's ever gonna love the fat boy. But I'm not a fat boy anymore. I'm a skinny boy nowadays. Anyway, the crazy part was Talitha Bateman actually pulled out a box of 6 donuts as well, and she offered me one. And she actually had one which had like her face printed onto the icing. You know how you get those like icings and you can get your own like personalized things printed on them? It was like that, like with food ink. So it was like printed on, but it was a picture of her. She didn't get it like that. It was just like they were selling them like that because I guess she's famous. Because that started this conversation between us about her being famous, and I told her that I always wanted to be an actor when I was a kid, and that I grew up, and like I'm a YouTuber now. And I told her that was another thing. When I asked her if I could have a picture, she kind of looked at me like I was a little creepy or strange or something, like I was a stranger, forgetting that she was like an actual celebrity. And I had to say to her, oh, I'm a YouTuber, like I love horror movies and stuff like that. I have 160,000 subscribers on YouTube. And she said, is that it? Like, that's not that much, or something like that. It was like, it was really funny, but she was joking, and she kind of laughed and I laughed. She was kind of humble like that, and we were talking about like the celebrity life, and she was saying to me about being an actor. I told her how much I loved her in Annabelle creation and stuff like that. She said something about how much money she has. Like, I guess I was just imagining her to be like super rich, and she was like, I literally have $7 in my bank right now. And so she was being kind of relatable because literally $7 in my bank, me. But yeah, it was really nice. Like, I actually felt like it was real. Like, it was not a normal dream. It also wasn't a lucid dream, but it wasn't like a normal dream. Like, I felt like I had too much control in that dream because I was literally having like a full-blown conversation with her, and she was wearing this like I remember her wearing this wool sweater, like a sweater that was like oversized, and it was kind of pink. And I thought, you know, I'm sure, like, I'm not even like, I'm not tripping. I've seen her in that before somewhere. And I did a little research, and I actually had the Scary Closet did like a thing, I guess, with them, like the characters from Annabelle creation, and she was wearing that in that, but I hadn't seen that in a long time. But it must have been somewhere in my memory, just sitting there laying dormant, waiting to come back. And it did last night in my dream. But it was really nice. Like, it was genuinely a wholesome, nice dream. Nothing scary, nothing overthinky, nobody died, nobody's leaving me. It was nothing like that. It was just a genuinely nice, like, sitting in a cafe talking to Talitha Bateman about Annabelle. My biggest dream. And she sure loved you, didn't she, baby? She loved you. Yes, she did. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. You guys know how I like to talk about my dreams. I don't even know if that made any sense to you guys. I feel like I am forgetting something. Hold on. I did send a message to my friend this morning telling her about this. But yeah, one other minor detail that I missed out was when I handed her the Annabelle doll to take the photo for her on her phone, as she like held it, and I just realized what I was looking at. It was like Talitha Bateman holding the Annabelle doll, and I said to her, wow, I can't believe I'm talking to Janice right now. Like, that's what I said to her. I was just reading through what I told my friend this morning, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that happened. I did also get this mug for my birthday from my grandma. It's an Annabelle mug. It's just black inside, but it's a scene from The Conjuring of like Bathsheba sitting in the rocking chair holding the Annabelle doll when she's turning around. And it's pretty cool. It's on both sides too, so that's a new addition to my studio. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, and remember to chase your dreams. Say bye, Annabelle. Just do a quick thumbnail.